This is the ace match, ladies and gentlemen. The last game starting to the top left for Axiom Acer. It is
Acer Innovation.
Acer's Innovation strong. The force is strong in this one, especially in Terran versus Zerg, but also in Terran versus Protoss. 70% win ratio with in total 70 maps played. And starting to the top right, we have the choice for Soul, a Protoss player. It is
Soul Trap.
And this choice is definitely going to spark a bit of discussion. If you look at the lineup for Soul, then you have two very strong Protoss players, and both of them are very good against Terran. Trap has 30 maps played and a 63% win ratio against Terran. Dia, on the other hand, has 50 maps played and a 72% win ratio. So, arguably, he is the better player in the matchup. But this match is so important that definitely we did not just, the coach didn't just flip a coin here. He was talking to both players, and even though we saw already all the idea taking down a Terran player in Ryang, Trap apparently today the one that is the better choice for them personally. They probably just sat down and talked and were like, okay, who thinks he can really take down Innovation? And Dia, for some reason, probably said, alright, I don't really think that I can do it right now. The style doesn't match up with him, and Trap has better chances there. So they choose Trap, and let's see if he can pull it off.
Consider also, this is a stretch, but consider also that Trap played a Protoss versus Protoss today, and he might have been thinking, maybe Axiom Acer plays a trick card, some sort of different move, and goes for a Protoss. And Trap also already showed us today that he's pretty good in that matchup. So all around, he prepared for that matchup and of course for this one as well. So he's got that slight edge there as well. Just in the off chance. A very unlikely one, but still something to consider.
If you just look down the match history for both of them were able to defeat like very, very strong opponents. And Dia a little bit more out there than Trap, since he is the champion in the Premier League of Season 3 and also performed, of course, well at the WCS Finals, taking down opponents at BlizzCon like Tasia, for example. Before that, in the Grand Final here in Korea, he took down Maru. He was able to win against Maru in the... Dia, that is, of course. I think I said Trap. Yeah, Dia, of course, with all these results. Trap, on the other hand, successful against players like MMA, just pulling out a 2-0 there, defeating Jakji, SC, Bomber. He has very, very huge names that he sniped in the past, and this is definitely a match on the highest level.
Okay, so let's talk about this build so far. Innovation sees 3 pylons. He's got the scout follow-up here, and with the 3 pylons he's seen, he knows there's no proxy. But the 3rd pylon that he saw in the main base, he double-checked it, and it does smell of a Stargate positioning. It could be a place that easily Trap wants to drop a Stargate down and go for mid-game Oracle. So that's definitely somewhere he's going to want to hop a Reaper into later, or perhaps even go for a Scan. A Scan would be a great choice in this matchup.
The Oracle in the new patch is a bit faster, and that definitely shows when you see player controlling it. It's basically like you got the afterburners on the Medivacs just constantly, so it's very, very fast, and that's why you can keep it alive for a lot longer. It's much more difficult for the Terran player to kill it, and so Oracle is suddenly very good also in the mid-late game. You just can always just zip around on the map, have a little bit of a scout there, kill the stray-up unit every now and then even use Revelation. But we do not see the Stargate just yet. We see actually Trap heading straight into a robotics.
Yeah. But, you know, Innovation has really taken a page out of the game we saw earlier in the Protoss versus Terran, where he saw the aggression that Deer put on. He saw how the Soul Protoss players are being extremely aggressive early on, did not want to face that, made a bunker on the high ground, significantly delayed his expansion as a result. But he also has faster tech with this. Extremely fast Medivac coming out with Widow Mines to boot, so he's got a faster aggression. We'll see how that plays out. He sees the Robo as well.
And guys, before we are heading into the later stage of the game, definitely jump on Twitter and let us know what you think about the choice to send Trap out before this match is over. Send a tweet at us at Caldo and at ProxyWolf and let us know if you think Dia would have been the better choice here, or if Trap will be able to win this match. Would be really interested to see what kind of thoughts you guys have about this choice.
Yeah, I really want to hear what you guys think. You know, sometimes we talk about all of our thoughts, but I want to see what the fans who watch all of these matches and catch every StarCraft match that Innovation and Trap do.
It's a tough choice to make, actually. Yeah. Like, both of them are really great players in the matchup. And right now we have Innovation preparing with a few Widow Mines here at the beginning, and Trap is just going down the path where he invests a lot into the armor upgrades, which we see a lot in this matchup, of course.
The scout information that Trap has so far is relatively limited. So not only does he leave the second observer at home and just rally it there, but he starts a cannon. So this Widow Mine drop will do virtually nothing. And why does he do that? Because he knows there's some sort of tech coming his way. He saw the command server was delayed, and what can that mean? It can only mean one thing, a drop aggression, and it's shut down instantly here.
The drop, of course, spots the Stalkers, and this is nothing that he can do at this point. Just moves back, and there's nothing lost at this point in time. We have him with the Twilight Council that allows him to go into the +2 armor upgrade, but of course he can also then just go ahead in tech and add, for example, charge, go into that into the Templar Archive that we see just so often in this matchup these days.
Yeah. Widow Mine drop thwarted again here. Not able to get anything done. The cannon is in perfect position. Twilight Council finished. I believe we'll see Blink here first, but he could go charge as well with the composition that we've seen so far from him. And a lot of add-on making here going on with these Starport and the... Is he? Okay, so that's just a reactor, that's what I thought. But anyways, he made 2 tech labs, so you can get stim and combat shields at the exact same time, along with getting that upgrade for... well, they're just getting further Marauders out, is what I'm trying to say. He goes charge. So that's what he chooses here, gets the Templar Archive. And even spots one of the Widow Mines. Very good eye there.
Yeah, and we have also now just the other Widow Mine drop into the main base, but with that cannon there, there's just no way of really doing damage. And the Widow Mine trying to escape, and he's able to pull that off. You know what? Both players are actually just sitting tight here. We got a really interesting tweet right now already, and a quick shout out here to the tweet top SC2. He raises a really good point. Dio was gone for quite some time now and was actually just come back from BlizzCon. So first of all, he might be a little bit tired, but there's another point to this as well. It's not only the travel that might affect the decision to go for Trap here instead, but also Trap had nothing else to do but prepare for this particular match. And if it heads into an ace match, I mean, who's he gonna send out? It's gonna be Innovation, so you can already prepare for this. So maybe even Trap from the beginning, the one that Soul wanted to send out as an ace player. That's actually really a good point, so thanks for that tweet.
Yeah. Always love to hear what you guys say on Twitter about all sorts of things, especially StarCraft matches that we're commentating. An Archon here, but this army, this is what I was talking about. This is Innovation style in this matchup. He takes a big lead early with the macro. He tries to take that massive, look at the supply, 110 to 80, 58 to 31 army supply. He says, are you going to try to tech? Are you going to try to play greedy against me? I will swing the hammer on you. Third base gets delayed, though, and with all the tech out, and he saw the Archon, he has to walk away, and this is great for Trap. He gets away with it. He starts a Storm. He's got the +2 armor. He has charge now.
It buys him a lot of time, definitely, and if you get the Storm out, you already feel so much more confident as a Protoss player because you know that all those aggressive timings, and it's going to be much easier for you to actually defend. But Innovation in general is just like way ahead now in overall supply. His macro is hitting, of course, really well. Restarting that third base, wants to get that out again. And with a one dropship, sorry, not the dropship, but the Observer in the main base getting the scouting information. And here comes the Warp Prism.
Yep. 4 Zealots here in the charge is good. He takes out several Marines. He's got a Warp in here, and he will force again that SCP to be killed. And this time he's going to try to get a sandwich here on that Terran army. I cannot believe it. He's half the army supply of his opponent, but he's acting like he's got double. Beautiful force fields again here.
But
Warp
he
Prism
needs
escapes.
to be really careful that he doesn't overcommit there. We have concussive shell down for those Marauders, and they're on the chase already, taking down one of the SCVs. So Trap here on the run for now, and Innovation in a pretty good spot, but the Warp Prism in the main base is still around to do some damage.
Such confidence here, incredible. He goes for the counterattack again. Main base Zealots being warped in. He has Storm, he has Templar ready, and he takes a third base while denying his opponents and harassing the perhaps most confident teching Protoss I have ever seen in this matchup. Now continues his upgrades. The third base slightly delayed here, but he's done the same to his opponent, so he could feel pretty comfortable with that. One thing he's going to want to start getting here pretty soon is a second forge.
The army supply is still an issue though, but the one thing that really goes for Trap is that with Storm, army supply sometimes really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If you get the perfect Storms off, especially against Marines, you can do so much damage. And that's of course what Trap is currently hoping for here. If he gets that third base into the picture and gets a good economy up, then he will be on a very nice level against Innovation. But right now the Terran player is way ahead, and he has the force on the map that can do a lot of harm here. If he gets a drop into the main base, for example, or just close enough to that third base, with all the burst damage, he can just snipe a Nexus and then go back.
You know, a Storm is almost worth 10 army supply if it's good. He's got so many Templar here. 1 Templar in this Warp Prism as well, so if he just sends a small force to deal with the Zealots, it's not going to be even close to enough. Could also alternatively use the Storm on the SCVs. It's his choice to make. Storm on the units, I like this choice better. Warps in Zealots. Viking, though, is going to shut things down.
Viking is going to shut down the Wall Prism here, but Innovation is now on the move. And he is up against the Guardian Shield. Of course, the Force Field is not doing anything here. A little bit of kiting against the Zealots. Trying to go for the... And actually, the Wall Prism just escaping here. Getting away from the Medivac, and he already stopped chasing. One Storm is being dodged here by Innovation, only taking a few hits.
Innovation is looking solid now. He's got that third base up and running. He's doing double upgrades at once, so he will eventually close that gap. And the Archon count here, it's pretty low. He doesn't have a lot of storms left. And the split here, he makes a circle, almost a complete surround here around the cliff.
He has to be careful with two of those armies, though. He needs to be careful that he doesn't call it out of guard. And that's the burst damage that I was talking about earlier. He's going for the sniper, the Nexus. But there's Storm already stopping him in his stretch. The rest of the Protoss army already on the move. Reinforcement moving in for Innovation.
He can't
and
get it.
Trap is moving giant towards him. He's trying to push him back, and he's pulling it up before the Nexus is done.
He needs more Zealots, so the Archon's doing some serious hits to those Medivacs, but it's not enough. He's sending even his base defense Templar here, and Innovation is out for blood. One Storm doing very little damage. The second one hits home.
He's going for it, and then more High Templars are joining the battle in just a few seconds. He has the energy of them, but Innovation is being pushed back here, still ahead in overall supply and doubling his opponent's army supply. But with a good Storm here, there could be so much damage. The entire Terran army is already low.
And here we go! It's so low on hit points. He picks up in the Medivacs. No feedbacks available. And if you look at that army supply, so much of it is in Medivacs right now. 10 Medivacs, most of them low on energy, several of them low on hit points as well.
And low on hit points is the entire Terran Bio army. Those Storms to the number, and Trap holds for now.
But upgrades evened out here now. 2-2 to 2-2. +3 armor started very late. And actually, it's not 2-2 to 2-2, it's 2-2 to 2-1, so Innovation actually takes a slight lead. But a Storm on the SCVs, no reaction by Innovation. Several damaged and a few killed.
14 Harvesters killed in total over the duration of the game. And we have that Ghost Academy, and as soon as he has the Ghosts in the picture, then it's going to be so much more difficult for Trap to land these Storms, and he needs them. We saw that in the last battle.
And the Archons are also really the backbone of his army. He uses them to tank and also to damage the Medivacs. He lets that army stack up, and then he does the damage. He's waiting. He wants to have all the Storms possible. That cannon really coming into play here. The charge is used on most of the Zealots. Now he has to go back. And now that the charge is down on cooldown, Innovation may try to pick a few more Zealots off. He decides not to.
Trap is fully aware of the fact that there are no Ghosts at this point. He is absolutely not... he is just clustering his High Templars up. He knows there is no EMP. If there would be an EMP, that would be devastating to him right now, and he will have to split later on, because the first few Ghosts are now being built. The +3 attack upgrade also started for the Terran player, and Trap slowly starting to just transition out of this Templar composition that he currently has, going more into a Colossus-heavy style, with the Robotics Bay now being built.
You know, Innovation just really going and charging this game, not taking to the Ghost, hoping he could do the damage before he needs them. Not going into Vikings either, not expecting that transition to Colossi just yet, but it is on. The Bay is done in the second Colossus production.
Position, Wolf, he gets the High Templar, he gets the Immortal, and...
But how much will he lose for it? How much will he lose for it here? A good position on top of the ramp, but the Archon charged forward late on the micro by Innovation. How many Zealots will he get here? He does not want to engage the choke point, not without the Storms. Where are they? And there they are!
Storms coming in, and a lot of them! He's getting another 2 off immediately, and oh my god, Innovation, he moves back once again. Still a 30 supply lead against the Protoss player. The Archons are taking down those Marauders to the top of the map. The Ghosts, where are the Ghosts? He needs the MPs, he needs the snipes right now.
Army momentum definitely in favor of Trap right now, but he needs to solidify a 4th base, because that's something that Innovation's already got going for him here. And as soon as he starts dropping mules there, he's going to be able to overwhelm Trap. Trap is taking good engagement after good engagement, but Innovation, his macro is incredible. He has 18 Marauders on the map right now. Ghost count getting higher, and he's going to have 3-3 first, it looks like.
Talking about macro, we have a 4th base coming up for Trap here. Between all of these aggressions and the defense that he has pulled off so far, he's getting another base. Here come the Ghosts, though. They say, you shall not storm. Are they going to be successful with that? The EMP hits 2 of them.
Excellent, and he's got snipes as well. One more goes down. Another one. No Storms, not a single one. EMP on the Archons as well. The Archons, though, doing so much splash damage. That Templar in the back, lagging behind.
Trouble, 33 supply for him, and army supply gets 100.
This is the Storm he needs, but it doesn't do enough damage. This next
he needs more than that.
So low on hit points, the shields are
so
gone.
More than only one Storm. Here comes another round of war with the Colossus finally moving in.
He's kind of
he have what he needs? He's hiding and he's breaking everything down. 20 army supply gets 100. Innovation is moving in, and he takes the Colossus. He
drops the mules.
He's going for the GG move. Axiom Acer is gonna take it once again.
That was down to the wire here. A few storms ready at the ramp, but it's not going to change the tide of this game. 3-3 complete. Warp Prism Micro on the Colossus is cute, but nothing else.
Soul was so close, but there it is. GG! Innovation! Once again unbeatable, and with a huge lead, he's taking charge now in the individual ranking. 2 more wins for him. This guy is unbelievable.
I mean, that was just brute force all the way. He chose that strategy based on the positions, I feel, and he just went for it. No Ghost for the longest time, just constantly attacking into the storms. And you know, the one thing that always kept Trap alive was his Templar and his storms. His army supply was always down, but he never lost his High Templar. And that's when Innovation was like, you're not losing your Templar, so you just keep getting these storms to basing for free. You don't have to spend any more gas. Now I need my Ghost. Gets the Ghost out, and also gets the better upgrades, and that really helped him push through.
A bit of a tragic story here. Innovation being the demise of his old team, not only taking down his opponent in the 6th match, but then in the 8th match, also sealing the deal and taking them down with a 4-3.
This season of Team League has had so many awesome stories come out of it, and Innovation is definitely one of the top ones. And he defeats the last player of his old team, and now the coach and Deer, well, you know, even though you will never know who was the better player 100% to put out, there's always going to be in the back of their mind, should we have used Deer here? But Trap, he played a damn good match, I have to say.
He definitely played a really strong match against Innovation, and a few times he was looking like he could make something happen there, but Innovation just way too good. His macro never faltered, he always had what he needed.
That's his style, he's just like, I've got more units than you, and the units aren't going to stop. They're going to keep going constantly until this game ends. Always having more Marauder production than Marine production, allowing himself to tank those storms. What an incredible finale that we had. This game went down to the wire, the team match went down to the wire, and I can't wait to see...
Seoul came so close. They came closer than anyone else this season so far.
I want to see what Innovation has to say about that game, how he feels about the matchup, for example, and the coach of Axum Acer as well. I'd even really like to hear a lot from some of the players on the Seoul bench, but we won't be doing that live on broadcast. But what a finale, what a day.
Yeah, it was definitely like a lot closer than people expected. I mean, if you look at the ranks and you see Axum Acer up there with a +11 indicator, and then you see Seoul basically at the bottom of the rankings, you would say, okay, they're going to be crushed here. But they went all the way up to the ace match, and they gave Innovation a run for his money. But in the end, the Terran player just once again not defeated here in the Team League. And he is so far ahead in the individual rankings right now. I think Symbol was actually close to him with a 7 or 8-3 to 8-1.
They were tied at 7, but Innovation had the better win ratio, and now he's at 9.
Yeah, okay, then he was 7-1 against 7-3, and now he's like 9-1. So basically, Innovation already secured himself with this victory
Unless
today.
Symbol gets like an all-kill or something in the next match, like that's the only way. But yeah, Innovation is just on top of things right now. Highest ranked player in this league, takes out some of the best players in the world, and Axum Acer just can't anybody beat them. They only lost once, and it doesn't look like they're losing again anytime soon.
I mean, even if they would lose a match, it wouldn't actually matter. So they are still in the top spot, and I don't think that anyone can contest that anymore. So really well played here, and Innovation with 2 victories contributing quite a lot to the team win today.
Yeah, and this is really bad for Seoul, of course, now putting themselves further at the bottom. And also,
they are 1-6 now, I think.
Yeah. And also not so good for AZUBU, because they were the only ones who would have maybe got second place to get that direct seed into the finals, but now I don't think it's possible at all for them.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at the standings, of course, a little bit later. First of all, we're going to have the interviews with the Axum Acer team. Probably going to hear not only from Krang, but also from Innovation. Maybe even Olivia here. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe even some of the other players like Alicia or Ryung. Every now and then you do hear from the other players.
Yeah, Ryung is always bantering a bit, and it was like, okay, I want to get the victories out there so that I can actually like contest Innovation's dominance in the individual ranking. But he was not able to do that today. He was taken out by Dia in also a Terran versus Protoss, so the same matchup that we saw in the last game. So we're going to jump into the interviews right now, and let's hear what the Axum Acer team has to say about the victory.
Starting things off, of course, with player coach Crank. Also, playing himself so often, so
winning.
well. Winning all the time. Great player.
오늘 아침까지 저희가 오늘 경기를 이기면 확정인지 제대로 모르는 상태로 연습을 시작했어요. 그래서 경기 2개를 모두 준비하다 다들 힘들었는데 일단 내일 경기 결과와 상관없이 1등을
So apparently they didn't really know that if they would win today, they would already be like in the first position and nothing could happen anymore to them. So someone told them earlier when they came to the studio that this would be the case. So they are really happy that because of this they will go straight to the finals then.
Yeah, they just found out today, so... And that just goes to show you, like, some people are like, well, I can't believe they didn't know that. But it just goes to show you how focused they are on taking things one step at a time and not thinking about, like, all we have to do is win this and then we get this. Like, they just want to win and they're focused on the match
That's
at hand.
exactly what they've been talking about, that they just take it one game at a time and don't want to get too arrogant here. Kyrgyz is thanking everyone here, especially everyone who was helping the team staff. And, of course, also, like, people like Clyde who helped them actually practice a lot.
That's actually really cool to hear. And he's saying especially thank you to Innovation, and for good reason. He doesn't really seem happy even though he wins so much. But today when he won, you could tell he was actually pretty happy, even though like when you look at him right then on the booth, he looks pretty solemn. He could say that he was basically saying he could see in his eyes that he looked happy after the match.
Oh yeah, he definitely should be. I mean, there was a great performance today. And I mean, the games in general today, we had a couple of really good games. A couple of those were maybe a little bit one-sided, but still, today's match was definitely quite enjoyable, especially that a lot of people expected it to be quite the landslide, and that was definitely not the case.
Yeah, definitely not. So, it's our first time actually going to GSTL finals. We don't have any tournaments to worry about before the finals, so we're only worried about the finals. We're only focusing on that. We're going to show great matches for the fans. And it's true, they've got nothing to worry about, so that actually just raises the bar even further for them. And they don't have to worry about anything except the finals. They have no other playoff matches to be concerned with. So they just kind of skip straight to the finals.
We're of course also having an interview with Innovation and hearing his thoughts about his victories today. As mentioned before, he contributed 2 wins to today's success. And still without the glasses here. I want to know if I got the surgery. So it's being asked like here about the team, of course, getting the first spot today. But as I already pointed out earlier, he's now the player with the most wins in the individual ranking, and there's actually a prize for this season. He's being asked about it, and he's saying that his first goal is actually like helping the team to go to the playoffs. And when that actually happens, that goes pretty well. That's basically what he's saying. And his second goal was then, of course, to make sure that he's winning his individual matches so that he would get the lead in the ranking, in the individual ranking, which also worked out quite well.
Yeah, he's saying like he's very happy that he was able to accomplish both of his goals this season, and I guess now he has to set the new goal of helping his team win the finals.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's not much left for him to do.
It would be crazy actually if they wouldn't win this season. I feel the finals are going to be pretty epic.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to say, and also I guess the only other thing left for me to do is to come up with a ceremony, but I'm not usually very excited when I win my games.
Did you see Ryung once again, just like having his hands in other people's faces and like trolling everyone on the bench?
Yeah, I saw that.
이런 질문 굉장히 감사합니다. 자, 화영재설도 질문.
So, just incredible play from both teams today. It came down to the wire. My adrenaline's pumping from how epic this was.
혹시 그 경기 중간에
And you can't hope for much better in a StarCraft 2 Team League match than the highest level teams in the world clashing at each other.
So it's just being asked about the last match, when exactly he thought that he would be able to win the game, and then shot the video.
좀 좋지 않은 부분이 어느 정도 있고 또 어느 순간 보니까 제가 태클을 안 올리고 있어가지고 돈이 엄청 많이 남았었는데
I was trying to be very aggressive as we saw in the game, but my micro was actually not going as well as expected. And also my tech was a little bit late, and I had a lot of minerals left over, so he didn't spend his resources properly. So he thought that at that moment, like, Trap was going to actually take the game and not him, but he was able to take the victory.
I love how all the Korean casters and the players are completely ignoring what's happening there.
I'm trying
to make a straight face. No man, you don't ignore that. That was too awesome. That was brilliant. And Heart of all people.
결승 한 경기만 남았는데
Any words to your former teammates or your fans about the match?
소울 분들도 수고하셨습니다.
And what he has to say is we only have one match left, and we're going to try to win that and become the champions of this season. And he said basically that he thinks the other team did a good job. Like, basically in Korean, when you say that, you're basically saying like, well played. So here's the total results: 4-3. Innovation takes the ace match. Not against Youngju, on the other hand, but against Trap. Very, very excellent Protoss versus Terran players. Don't be fooled by that.
Yeah.
They would not send Youngju out for the ace, not for all the money in the world.
XMAs is such a troll team. It's crazy. I love it. And there we have the standings, of course. 6 wins and a single loss, a +12 indicator. And unfortunately, Seoul is all the way at the bottom with a -8.
If AZUBU wins their next match with an all-kill, they'll still be at +7, and with a less wins, so it's just not going to happen. Nobody can pass XMacer, as we talked about before, so they will go directly to the finals. AZUBU no longer has a chance for that spot.
They could all get all killed the next time, and they would still be fine.
Yeah. But of course, they're just going to skip that. They get to skip the playoffs entirely, so don't be confused. Like, they are going directly to the finals. They do not even have to play in the playoffs.
And here's once again the individual ranking with Innovation all the way at the top with a 9-1 and 90% win ratio in this GSTL season. Symbol is close, but he won't be able to surpass him.
Yeah. Notably, Trap would have gotten second place after the win had he won the final match, but he did not.
Yeah. And we have still Dia out there as well with the 6-4. Not as dominant as you would expect him to be after his performance in the individual league, but still with a pretty good showing this season. Actually, the 2 Protoss players are doing pretty well there.
Yeah, there was a shaky start for the Seoul team, and Deer took a few losses nobody expected.
Tomorrow, on the other hand, at 6 p.m. Korean Standard Time, the same time that today, we have StarTale going up against Axiom Acer.
Yep. And we will then, of course, have AZUBU facing off against Seoul again. So these are going to be the final 2 matches for our pennant race before we go into the playoffs. So do not miss them. Both of them tomorrow and Friday at the exact same time, 6 p.m. that we had today. So tell your friends, don't be confused. Sometimes we have morning matches, sometimes we have night matches. They're all at night. They're all at 6 p.m. same time as today. And you want to be there. You do not want to miss this.
StarTale should be really good going up against Axiom Acer. I feel it's going to be a very interesting game that we're going to see there. And Axiom Acer, once again today, very strong. And apparently Ryang now finally overdoing it. And I think at some point Ryang is just going to get slapped.
I think he's going to get beat up, man.
Yeah, at some point MMA is just going to elbow to the face.
I think Cranston tell me, you're going to timeout, man, and we can talk. If you keep doing this on camera, you can make us look silly. You're a really good player, but we might actually have to remove you.
If there would be a troll award in the GSTL, Ryang would be completely uncontested. It would be number 1 Ryang, number 2 Ryang, number 3 Ryang, number 4 Ryang. So he would get all the prize money for that.
And don't forget consolation number 5 Ryang.
Yeah, exactly.
Which wouldn't get any prize money, but he would still get it.
So Ryang, once again, the troll, this time also not with a victory today, but Innovation came through for the team, and in the end it's a 4-3 for Axiom Acer against Seoul. We are back tomorrow with StarTale versus Axiom Acer. Make sure that you tune in for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the matches today, and have a great night. We're going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.